I think it was the influences in our house when I was a kid. For one thing, my grandfather, my mom's father, was infinitely patient about sitting with me and looking at all kinds of picture books and reading things out of them and explaining things. And that was just a wonderful experience for any kid to have. But the other thing is that my parents had the Time Life Nature Library and Science Library books. And kids from the 60s know these books because a lot of people had them. And the book on the universe was the one with the broken spine, because for some reason I was always pulling it out and looking at the pictures. And when I got old enough to read the text, then I began to understand something. And I remember just staring at the photograph of the Andromeda Galaxy with this feeling of, how can anything so huge be so gorgeous? And I just had to understand that, and that's just stuck with me the whole time. Well, this is very, very pragmatic advice, but actually it was to offer to work at with the astronomers at a NASA center for free when I was a college freshman, to be an unpaid intern, and that actually paid off in big ways later on. It was probably something like mixing vinegar and baking soda together and seeing the carbon dioxide bubbles come out. The creativity, the day-to-day creativity, that there's always something that has to come out of your mind fresh and new, and you're implementing it. And it might be a fundamental idea, it might be just an idea of how to do a calculation, it may be the idea of why doesn't this piece of computer code work, it may be a new insight into how to explain Hamiltonians to undergraduate students. But every day there's that little burst of creativity that comes directly from your mind, and you put it into action right then and there. The ability to always pick up new skills, the ability to know that there's always another skill that you need, and the capacity to go and learn it and expand your toolbox. My research and a lot of astronomy and astrophysics may not have immediate societal benefits. In one sense, it's enriching. A lot of astronomy goes after the big questions. Astronomy has enriched human culture and popular culture in strange ways. For example, 100 years ago, it wasn't at all clear that there was more than one galaxy in the universe. Astronomers talked about the galaxy, or the sidereal system, which was the part of the universe that contains stars, and the universe, which was the rest of it. And it really wasn't clear what the relationship between those two were. And so it was really the work of astronomers in the 19-teens and 1920s to establish that our Milky Way galaxy is really one of many, and there are galaxies far, far away. Well, a result of that is that George Lucas could make that opening title in Star Wars. It says, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Well, maybe we should have gotten royalties for that, but that's a different discussion. Iron Chef Masaharu Morimoto. Actually, as funny as this sounds, I think it might be that when astronomers are at the observatory, we actually work all night long, if the weather allows us to. And that might seem obvious, but actually a surprising number of students who go to the observatory for the first time are surprised by the fact that they're not going to sleep until morning. Oh, I hate that question. Because I can't decide, right? It's not one thing. It's the stack of notebooks. It's the stuff that can't be replaced, right? So it's the spiral notebooks with all of my pen and pencil notes, and then of course there's the hard disk that needs to be saved too. So, well, when I'm listening to music, I'm usually listening to classical or jazz, but I can only, when I'm working, I can only play music when I'm writing computer code. I can't play music when I'm doing math. I can't play music when I'm writing. But if I'm writing code and debugging programs, then I can play music and anything works.